It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Portland Trailblazers going up against the Spurs in San Antonio. Checking out the Spurs, they've started the season on an extremely upbeat note, winning 8 of their first 9 games. They've been solid in just about every aspect. You talk about great trios in NBA history, the Spurs trio, Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, last year moved into the #1 spot for career winning percentage for any 3 active players. Shaq, how long will it be before we see something like this again?
Well, the trio in the Spurs model has been synonymous with success. That's right, Ernie, synonymous. I don't know how to spell it, but it sounded good, so I hope you understand. Synonymous.
Sounds awesome.
It's going to be a long time before we see countless records and accolades between them duplicated.
A long time. So what year will it happen again? Come on, Dr. O'Neal.
2000, never.
2000, never. So in the 3000s it happened.
Yeah, the 3000s.
That means in 3000. But you have to go way back, obviously, in the history books to see guys that were that good between Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili. But the secret recipe for me, Coach Popovich. If you put those 3 guys on another team, they might not have the same success if Popovich isn't there.
That does it for us from here, for now. We turn it over now to Kevin Harlan. Kev.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Trailblazers come into town for this one. We're all set to bring you NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You take a look at the Spurs. They have started the season with gusto. 4 consecutive wins, no losses, as they battle here in Game 5 of the regular season.
Yeah, and I think they feel confident about this matchup. They had the advantage first time round, and we'll see what adjustments come from the other side.
You know, Greg, talking about adjustments to me are really the hallmark of a well-coached team and one of the true pleasures to watch for those of us who've been around the game as long as we have.
It's going to be the Spurs off the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Al-Farouq Aminu is out there with Henderson. And it's Plumlee in at the 5.
Well, I'd have to say Lillard is one of the game's best passers right now.
You know, guys, Al-Farouq Aminu, so highly regarded coming out of college, still really finding his way around the NBA. But this last season, with Dallas, he may have found his niche in this league.
That's a great point, Kevin. A guy who can give you a lot of things, rebounding, defense, hustle points. But he's already played on a number of teams in his young career because he's still trying to, as you put it, find that niche. Maybe he's finally developed who he is.
Here's Parker. The Blazers getting the bucket. Leonard kicks to Green. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Plumlee with a screen on Leonard. Lillard dishes to Plumlee. He used that pick to get in close.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Duncan. Shot is no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. Now here's McCollum, guarded by Green. Shot clock at 6. Henderson against Parker. Henderson, no good. For Portland, they won their last contest, that game against Charlotte.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowds out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You've got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Here's Green, following the basket by Gerald Henderson. Pass to Duncan. Plumlee with the rebound.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Henderson, no good. Spurs trail by 6. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And the first one drops.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And that Spurs series shouldn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Portland.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
And guys, C.J. McCollum is a scoring-minded combo guard out of Lehigh. Was taken with the 10th pick back in 2013 and still looking to make a big impact in the NBA.
And so McCollum nails both of them. While McCollum has struggled with injury, he's broken a bone in each of the last 3 seasons dating back to college at Lehigh.
Yeah, and if he can stay healthy, I think he's got a bright future. He had a broken finger last season, and he broke his foot twice in the seasons prior, Kevin, just to embellish the injury situation. But he's got some ability.
Last break, here come the Trailblazers. And Damian Lillard with the bucket on the assist by Henderson. Lillard's got his first 2 points of the night. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the 76ers.
I think everyone who saw that game would just have to agree was about what they could do defensively in terms of winning.
And I thought the activity was tremendous, all over the court defensively. And that kind of hustle is going to pay off for you, and it also is going to keep your coach happy. They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Aldridge banked in off the glass.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Here's Aminu. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now. Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
San Antonio making a switch here. West is checked in. Spurs trail by 11.
And, you know, just as you said, Portland didn't have enough to get by the Grizzlies in the first round. Ended up losing in 5 after taking 1 game, and that was game 4. Just had a hard time breaking down the Memphis defense.
Now here's Leonard. In the game against Philadelphia, very impressive.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Parker against Henderson. Fader on the way. The shot misses. And San Antonio will go the other way with it.
Another loss for the Blazers when they were the 4 seed, as you mentioned. As a franchise, they have lost in the first round every time they have ended up as the 4 seed. Not exactly a good position for them to be in.
Now here's Leonard. No good with the elbow jumper. Lillard against Leonard. Portland moving the ball around. And Damian Lillard with the bucket on the assist by McCollum. Lillard's got 5 points so far. Parker against Lillard. Parker passes to West, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
The shot's good from Plumlee.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical, dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Now here's Parker. Outside Leonard. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Trailblazers leading by 10. Plumlee with a screen on Leonard. Lillard attacking. The shot's good from Plumlee.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
Now here's Parker. Got a piece of it. Plumlee with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Henderson's got it. Finished off the break. And the Trailblazers lead by 14.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Aldridge against Henderson. Parker kicks to Leonard. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Aminu. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. McCollum with the ball.
He couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
San Antonio calls timeout. Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that they're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
And Kevin, how about going 33-8 at home last season? And despite being the 6th seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the 2 best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine you could be a 6th seed with that kind of success.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Ginobili comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Kevin Martin is checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. There's the screen. It's Anderson with the drive. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home in that stretch, which vaulted them from the bottom of the playoff picture in the West to as high as the 2 seed.
And the Spurs at home are so great because they just don't miss. I mean, 2nd in field goal percentage at home, shooting 49%. Also 2nd in three-point percentage made at home with over 39%.
He's off on the second. And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014, but he spent pretty much the entire season on the Pine.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
You know, talking about Kyle Anderson, he's a bit of a polarizing prospect, has a multifaceted skill set. I mean, excellent court vision, outstanding length, doesn't have elite athleticism, absolutely needs to get stronger, but he's got a lot of game.
Harkless hits them both.
And, guys, getting back to Kyle Anderson, not a fit for every system. I mean, he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he's much more of a facilitator than a finisher at this stage.
Mills can't hit.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Last season, Portland won the Northwest Division and had a good year, certainly, but they had some issues when they were the away team on the road and away from the Rose Garden. They had some problems.
Yeah, actually played under 500 on the road, Kevin. Something you rarely see out of a team that wins 51 games.
Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time.
And as you said with the Blazers, they were the only team to win 50 games and still lose more than they won on the road. Last team to do that was the 2013 Denver Nuggets. Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are. And we saw a similar first-round exit for the Blazers of that 2013 Nuggets team. If the Blazers want to go deeper this season, they'll need to be much tougher on the road.
And, guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season from the field and behind the arc at campaigns the year before. That really just makes hair out, and fortunately for me, I don't have any.
So he gets them both. Back to Mills, his contributions last year. Parker was hobbled. Corey Joseph was still learning. Mills didn't put together consistent efforts and ended up losing minutes, Clark, because of it.
Yeah, you know, Mills doesn't come very often. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the most of it.
Now here's Mill. Ice ball movement by San Antonio. It's tipped. Harkless kicks to Roberts. Martin with the...
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half-and-half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, you know, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
And here are the Trailblazers now, following the bucket by the Spurs. Kept alive. Here's Leonard. Great D that time from Duncan.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Trailblazers leading by 10. Here's Roberts. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's the screen. Outside, Davis to the wing right side. Harkless. Portland again missing.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Mills with it. Guarded now by Harkless. It's Anderson with the drive. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. 1:41 left here in the first quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
One thing about Ed Davis, guys, he has the physical tools to succeed. The agility of a gazelle and the wingspan of a condor or pterodactyl.
You know, Greg, getting back to Ed Davis, his abilities go beyond physical attributes, strong intangibles. Roy Williams always used to talk about him like this, high basketball IQ.
Yeah, second-generation NBA player. His father, Terry, played a long time. He's humble, he's hungry, and motivated. So a lot of key characteristics, I think, in the success of most players he displays here early in his career.
.139 left in the first. Davis sets a screen. Here's Roberts, covered by Mills. Roberts passes to Leonard. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Spurs trail by 10. And Mills kicks to Anderson. Feeds to Mills. He dishes it to Duncan. 5 to shoot. They get it back. And that one is hammered home.
How about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe.
Well, I don't think it would be a bad idea, Kevin. I mean, they could use all the second chance points they can get.
Here's Roberts, following the bucket by the Spurs. From 18 feet away, Martin with the block. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off his shot. 24-second violation. Leonard, he's checked in for David West. .35 seconds left to play in the first quarter. To the left side wing. Takes the 13-footer. Shot's good by Mills.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And Roberts kicks to Leonard for the 3. Another miss by Leonard.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Now, here's Mills. He's guarded closely. Leonard with the ball. And so the first quarter is in the books. Trailblazers lead by 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, very demanding. Throughout the years, he was hardest on his point guard, Tony Parker. And here's what Parker had to say about that.
My first 3-4 years, it was tough sometimes. Sometimes, like, eyes watered. I was, like, really angry, and it was tough at times. Definitely very hard on me early in my career.
Even though it seems like that was a very long time ago now, to hear Tony Parker talk about it now, it still sounds very fresh to him.
Did he acknowledge, Kevin, that he cried?
It sounds like it, yeah.
The game made him cry. That's one of the things fans forget about with professional athletes. No matter how successful they get, players never forget that pain and frustration or those other emotions they've gone through to help get them to where they are.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from Portland, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
I just really like what we're seeing from a defensive standpoint, forcing a lot of turnovers with those quick hands.
Yeah, those active hands, Greg, have produced a number of steals early. They've been very aggressive.
The Thomas, Parker, and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in at the 3 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. Portland did a lot of things right last year in their 51-win season. The one constant for for them was how they play defense.
You know, Kevin, they were good all season long in terms of staying focused on that side of the ball. Really made sure to challenge every shot, and with their length and reach, they should be a factor defensively.
Now here's Henderson. 8 points his last outing. Near the three-point line, it's McCollum. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Spurs trail by 3. It's Ginobili outside. Aminu grabs the miss.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the defense has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull that trigger. You've got to be in his face and not give him any space.
And you can see, Clark, that he has garnered the attention of the defense here. They are not going to allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Now here's Ginobili. Aminu missing his last shot. Ginobili dishes to Green. That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili. Green's got the game tied up here for the Spurs. McCollum with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. McCollum kicks to Lillard. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Lillard's got 9.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Parker kicks to Leonard. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Clock at 6. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Parker's shot is off.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times. They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They traveled to Portland last time they faced the Trailblazers and came away with the win.
And the last time these teams met, it was a walk in the park, and everybody got in on the act. Their bench was spectacular in that win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the starters were extremely happy to get some rest and let the bench guys do the heavy lifting. Definitely a feel-good win for the team.
He's checked in for the Spurs. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Parker passes to Ginobili. From about 19 feet. Portland grabs the miss. They can look forward to the Rockets arena after this matchup to take on Houston. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them. Parker kicks to Ginobili. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Trailblazers leading by 4. Here's Lillard. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Damian Lillard is a 2-time All-Star. He just keeps getting better and better, and I love his demeanor on the floor. He seems a lot older than he really is.
Yeah, he's got an old head, and he's got a very even-keeled disposition about him, which serves him well. He almost missed the All-Star game last season. It was an injury replacement.
And for Lillard, that motivation. Remember, he got cut from Team USA a couple summers ago in favor of Derrick Rose and Kyrie Irving, and Lillard calls it wood on the fire. Those things keep him focused and also hungry.
San Antonio making a switch here. Martin's checked in. The free throw is good from Lillard.
And remember, Lillard, the former Rookie of the Year, he's had his snubs, but also he's gotten some recognition. Even playing in the Pacific Northwest, he's got his own signature shoe now, and his star definitely on the rise.
Now here is Aldridge. 14 points from him the last game against Philadelphia.
And he also chipped in with a couple blocks in that game. Just a hint at the impact he had on the defensive side. And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
That free throw, no good. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
And he sinks the second. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. McCollum with the ball, working on Martin. Henderson, no one around him. Good on the triple. Henderson's got 7 points.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap on the D.
Lillard against Parker. Pass to West. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee. Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
And the second free throw, good.
West guy's still very strong as a player, but clearly it's his leadership that sets him apart. Does all those little intangibles that help teams win games.
They've done a really good job of knocking down their long-distance shots here in the second quarter. I mean, they're shooting just above 40% from downtown. That's outstanding.
Here's Aldridge, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Up high and down hard with the one hand.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
McCollum dishes to Lillard. Plumlee with the screen. Lillard attacking. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Lillard's got 13.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Green, the screen. Here's Aldridge. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 6 rebounds now in the game. McCollum, the rebound by the Spurs. West has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. The drive by Green, and that one's good. Green's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
No matter what the score is, his attitude has been perfect. I love his disposition. He has stayed in attack mode.
And the jam by Gerald Henderson.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Here's Martin. Rebounded by McCollum. Portland leading by 8. Here's the feed to Lillard. No good. Great D that time for Martin. San Antonio's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Parker passes to Martin. No good with the triple. Portland's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul. And the Spurs with some changes. Anderson, he's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Portland also making some changes. Davis comes in for Plumlee. And Harkless is subbed in for Gerald Henderson. Here is Lillard. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte. Inside, here's Davis. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And now Martin pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the shot is good.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
A different look now for San Antonio. Duncan comes in for David West. And Kawhi Leonard subbed in for LaMarcus Aldridge. The Trailblazers also changing it up. Leonard, he's checked in for Aminu. Crabbe comes in for McCollum. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Damian Lillard.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. But Popovich said last year he feels it might actually be the case.
You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
Duncan kicks to Martin. The baseline J. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Trailblazers leading by 9. Here's Roberts. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got his third rebound on the night. Martin up top. An 11-point game for him in the win against Philadelphia. It's Anderson with the drive. Portland grabs the miss. Davis has got his third rebound on the night. Portland's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. And he gets it to go.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Clearly, they've been outclassed in the paint, really at both ends of the floor.
Mills dishes to Anderson. There's a screen. Here's Leonard. No good. And it's Portland the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, and maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
And Davis throws it down.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard. Clark,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Trailblazer lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Leonard. Here's Roberts, covered by Mills. Off the screen. And Portland again with the bucket.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Anderson outside. This is it to Duncan. Right through the knee for the layup. Duncan's got his second bucket. Trailblazers leading by 8. Mills with the steal. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Right now, let's check out the teams with the best free throw percentage. Number 1, the Spurs.
We've talked about rebounding being a key factor in winning. Free throws and free throw percentage is another one of those key factors in winning. This team is the best in the league at making free throws, and that's one of the reasons they're successful.
Here's Roberts. There's the pass to Harkless. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
Boy, he blew the easy two by profiling, trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
Leonard, no luck.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
To the paint, Leonard with the steal. Unhindered, going all the way. And Harkless with the basket on the assist from Leonard.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly, but very efficient.
And guys, Myers Leonard really showing signs of progress in last season. Huge steps forward for the big man.
And you know, progress is all about confidence with young players. I mean, his shooting percentages were remarkable when you look at the fact that 50, 40, 90, 50%, 40%, 90% for a 7-footer, unheard of, and he's in that neighborhood.
Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. Spurs trail by 10. 1:11 left in the first half. Duncan, a screen. And Anderson kicks to Leonard from past the arc. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession.
It's still early on in this new basketball season for San Antonio. And here's where they sit in the NBA rankings. First in free throw percentage. Fourth in scoring. And they also show up as a top 5 three-point shooting team. I mean, that's tall cotton there. Elite level marksmanship from behind the arc.
And you look at their ranking, tops in free throw percentage. I think it speaks to their focus and discipline as a team. They look to capitalize on every mistake.
Our timeout called by Portland.
Well, Portland had another strong season against the rest of the West. Ended up with a record of 31-21 in the conference, and that was good enough to earn them the 4th spot in the West.
Seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Roberts. Rebounded by the Spurs. Portland did end up 4th in the West, as you said, Greg. You're talking about that. And their 31-21 in-conference record was the exact same as it was at the end, Clark, of the 2014 season.
Well, actually, Portland won more games in 2014 than they did last season. They ended up 4th in the conference, mostly because of how they won their division.
Trailblazers leading by 10. Here's Harkless. Good work defensively by Ginobili.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Anderson's shot is off. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Portland's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Here's Roberts. Out left to the wing. And that one hits back iron. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Trailblazers up 10. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What are you telling your guys they need to do to turn this thing around?
I think we just moved the ball a little bit. We were just on the dribble a little bit too much, and there's got a lot of pressure out there, so the ball's got to move.
Coach. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you at the table.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He had 13 points, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down. That's the big factor.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Spurs?
Well, they just didn't produce enough offense. I don't know if it's because they were expending so much energy on the defensive end, but clearly they have to take a look at this. What plays are we calling? And how can we improve that? And they have to do it fast, because if they don't, this game is going to run away from them.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
Just in attack mode, he was able to get in the lane at will in that first half.
Yeah, it really was aggressive attacking basketball at its finest. I mean, really a lot of fun to watch.
Trailblazers leading by 10. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Lillard at the point with C.J. McCollum playing the 2. Henderson out there with the Aminu. And it's Plumlee in at the 5, patrolling the paint. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Mason Plumlee will really put it on you. Tough, hard-nosed player. Has the size to bang and the athleticism, GA, to run the court.
And it's interesting, Kevin. His game translated better as a professional than maybe as a collegiate. I mean, he's a guy that's a lunch pail kind of player. Rolls up his sleeves, focuses in, and willing to do the dirty work.
Excellent point about the comparison college to pro. I think you're right on.
And, you know, back to Plumlee, he showed steady improvement last season, improved statistically in just about every category over his rookie year. He could become a little less mechanical with his postgame. I think he could even go higher.
You know, one thing about Plumlee, going back, he's been a tremendous rebounder. He can shoot over 60% from the field for you. However, he was a terrible free throw shooter last season, under 50%, which caused at least a couple teams to employ a little hack-a-Mason strategy.
That drops. Aminu's got 8.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Parker against Lillard. Parker kicks to Green. From 18 feet away. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. 15 points in the game. Little over a minute gone here in the second half. McCollum passes to Plumlee. McCollum with the ball. He's against Green. McCollum, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game. Yeah, starting the second half nicely there. Love those easy lay-ins to get things going.
Portland leading by 7. Here's Plumlee, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Lillard's got assist number 8 here in this one already. The Spurs have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Now here's Parker. Now the dish to Leonard. Parker left side. Henderson pulls it in. Henderson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Lillard against Parker. Wants to get it to Duncan, and does.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. And they get it back. And that one's good by Henderson.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Spurs trail by 9. Here's Parker. Rebounded by McCollum.
Well, he surprised me with that move, but he just couldn't capitalize.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Leonard on the wing. He's guarded by Plumlee. That bucket in no time at all. That's 12 points for Leonard.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Aminu misses. The Spurs have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Green. Why don't we take this chance now to show you the most active wing defenders in the league? These are this season's steals leaders at small forward. Second is Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, if you're an opposing small forward, this could also be called a list of the league's most annoying players. I mean, they will be in your jersey all night when you're up against them.
Greg, they are an elite group of defenders. I mean, they don't just make it difficult for opposing small forwards. They pester entire teams with their activity, jumping in the passing lanes, being active with their hands and feet. Very impressive defensive.
Right, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Green. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore, though.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
Trailblazers leading by 4. Here's Lillard. That's good. Lillard's got 15.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Parker outside. He feeds it to Green. Dishes it to West. He kicks it to Aldridge. Outside, Green. Just 4 to shoot. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Kevin Martin is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. The Trailblazers have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Parker against Lillard. With the teardrop, the shot is off. Good D by Parker. Spurs trail by 6. Aldridge left side. West kicks to Martin. Parker outside. Pass to Green. Shot clock at 5. He dishes it to West. On target from 13 feet. West has got 6.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Lillard against Green. And the basket by Lillard. Lillard's got 4 points in the quarter.
A defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
Aldridge is free. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Outside, Green feeds it to Parker. Pulls up. A second chance effort. Green, no luck.
The bucket just not well protected, but still he doesn't convert too often. That's been the story with him.
Now here's McCollum, guarded by Green. Shoots from the elbow. They grab their own miss. Plumlee, no luck. Spurs trail by 6. Green kicks to Aldridge. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Aldridge has got 8 points.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Aminu with the screen for McCollum. Kicks it to Lillard, the 17-footer. And that one's good. Lillard's got 19 points. Spurs have gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. Parker kicks it to West. Martin attacking.
How about the determination? Now that's what we call competing for a rebound.
Here's Henderson. A rebound by the Spurs. West has got 6 rebounds in the game. Parker dishes to Martin. Pass to West. To the paint. Here's Parker. The shot's good on the assist by West.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Trailblazers leading by 4.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
A different look now for San Antonio. Anderson, he's checked in for West. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Spurs trail by 6. Now Mills. Aldridge a screen. Ginobili outside. There's the feed to Mills. Let's go. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Mills has got 6.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
Harkless kicks to Roberts. Davis sets a screen. Here's Roberts. Right wing. Here's Harkless. They get the rebound. Outside Leonard. Passes to Crabbe. On the wing, Davis. Crabbe kicks to Roberts. Hits the jumper in space. And the Trailblazers lead by 6. Balanced scoring, Clark, for them. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
You might want to cut down on that sugar intake, though, Clark. But anyway, everybody's been involved in this offense here early on, and it has a way of helping you defensively. It doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Trailblazers.
From mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint, because those have been big.
Aldridge sets up the pick now for Ginobili. Anderson passes to Mills. No good. Now Portland takes it the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his third foul so far. Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. There's the pick. Here's Crabb. He's covered by Ginobili. To the middle. Outside for Davis. Oh, and the jam by Harkless.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
To stop the run, the Spurs rebound. Ginobili. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Ginobili's got his first bucket of the night.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's his first foul. The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. Now a timeout called by Portland.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Spurs on defense. 9-point game. Here's Roberts, covered by Mills. Davis dishes to Crabb. 6 to shoot. There's the pick. Here's Roberts. Rebound San Antonio. 1:57 left in the third quarter. Ginobili attacking. And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got 3 assists tonight.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. .144 left to play here in the third. Spurs trail by 7. And the foul called on Brian Roberts. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
There's 1:38 left in the third quarter. Anderson kicks to Mills. And there's the pass to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Clock is at 3. Mills can't hit. Trailblazers leading by 7. Here's Roberts. He's got 7. Grab the pass to Roberts. Harkless dishes to Leonard. Davis sets a screen. Here's Roberts. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Roberts got 7 points for the quarter.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Here's Leonard. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size that Greg was talking about, Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay?
Huh.
So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, yes, huge. Leonard hits them both. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big three, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big three recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely. .32 seconds left to play in the third. Foul called that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big three, but to think of himself as the big one. And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
And, you know, guys, Manu Ginobili's relationship with Greg Popovich has been really interesting over the years. In the beginning, Pop obviously had a rigid system. Ginobili played with a lot more freestyle and freewheeling nature. The two clashed heavily early on, as one might expect.
And so Ginobili nails both of them. Getting back to Ginobili and Popovich, everyone thought Popovich would break Ginobili of his reckless ways. But, in fact, you know this, it was the opposite.
Yeah. You know, Pop recognized he had something special in Ginobili, and it ended up changing his own philosophy, I mean, which I think speaks to the greatness of Greg Popovich. I mean, he was quoted as saying, you know, he does things, Ginobili, that win games. It taught me to watch a little bit more and not be so micromanagement-like, and not sure Pop's ever said that about anybody else.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
2 shots.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get.
Both free throws good from Ginobili. Portland leading by 5. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Davis sets a screen. Here's Roberts. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got 5 rebounds tonight. Harkless with the steal. Here's Roberts. Goes up on the wing. And the shot no good, a bit short. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Trailblazers lead by 5. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Here's Parker. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. West is out there with Duncan. And it's Parker in at the point guard position. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on Damian Lillard. And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
No good on that one.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
Marcus Aldridge has checked in for Tim Duncan. Good on the second free throw.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in 07.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
It's deflected. Stolen by Henderson. And now running up the court, Lillard pushing it up. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Lillard's got 21.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Out to Parker, releases. Aminu grabs the miss. Trailblazers leading by 8. McCollum dishes to Henderson. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
Take a look at what Henderson's been doing. He's got 11 points, and he has 1 steal to his credit as well.
And Clark, he's just done a great job defensively. That 1 steal doesn't tell the whole story.
And with Gerald Henderson Jr., what you see is what you get. A solid player, good athleticism, but he doesn't really specialize, Clark, in any one thing.
Well said, Kevin. Right on the mark with that. He came into the league as a jack-of-all-trades kind of guy. Skills were somewhat unrefined, and that's sort of where he is today. He is who he is.
Both free throws good from Henderson.
And going back to Henderson, he has the raw tools and intelligence to be a good scorer, but limited range and ball handling skills that put a cap on his development. Plus, he kind of lacks a go-to scorer's mentality.
Now here's Leonard. He's covered closely. 4 on the shot clock. West kicks to Parker. It's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
And, of course, Gerald Henderson Jr.'s dad was a solid NBA player in his own right. Never made an all-star team, but was a 3-time NBA champion. And ultimately, that's what counts.
McCollum kicks to Lillard. Plumlee with a screen on Leonard. Lillard misses. Spurs trail by 10. Nobody near Leonard. And right on target. Good. Leonard's got 9 points now in just the second half. For Portland, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Plumlee with the screen. Cullen passes to Aminu. The shot's good from Plumlee. And the Trailblazers lead by 10.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate.
Yeah, exactly. It sure is. Plenty of second opportunities. 8 of their last 10 points from the paint, but the defense still continues to back away and not show any aggression.
And now Farouk Aminu gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Here's the screen. Here's Aldridge. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 in the game.
Just the shot they wanted. Point-blank range.
Portland leading by 8. And Aminu slams it in.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Parker outside. The dish to Leonard. Outside, Green. Just 5 on the clock. Parker's shot is off.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's Lillard. And he gets the bucket. And it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there. Exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
Lillard against Parker. On the wing, Green. The shot's good on the assist by West. West has got his 3rd assist on the night.
Wow, and how huge has he been today? Really just giving his team a nice lift.
Yeah, and he's kept them close enough to be within striking range. I mean, the deficit would be much larger if not for the efficiency of his play.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Lillard attacking. Plumlee sets the pick for Lillard. To the middle. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Leonard. Aminu grabs the miss. Aminu's got 3 rebounds now in this one. In the corner, Henderson with it. Dishes it to Plumlee. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
And that one's good. Parker.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
Pass to Henderson. Parker with the steal. Feeds it to Green. He kicks to Parker. Back to Green. He dishes it to Duncan. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Can't be any surprise to you that Tim Duncan, folks, last year became the leading rebounder of all active players. Passed up Kevin Garnett for that honorable distinction. We're talking 15,000 rebounds total over 18 seasons.
Well, getting back to Duncan's rebounding, he's always had the great size and wingspan and timing, and he really positions himself well for those rebounds. But what seems to separate him is his quiet toughness. He'll never back down.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's not a guy that's going to yell or pump his fist. He's not going to flex his muscles to the crowd. He just silently assassinates you
well said.
out on the floor.
You're right. You're so right. And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
I tell you what, at this point in his career, it is safe to say, actually has been for a while, that Duncan might be one of the best power forwards ever. He is, clearly. 5 rings, 50-win seasons, his whole career, the complete package on the box.
Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Green, and it's Portland with the rebound. Henderson's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Lillard against Leonard. And Lillard gets double-teamed. Aminu misses. Spurs trail by 9. Here's Leonard. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. Leonard's got 4 this quarter.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And Duncan, who briefly contemplated retiring after last season, showed in the playoffs, Greg, he is still very much at the top of his game.
Listen, Tim Duncan, for me, is the greatest power forward to ever play the game, although Pop will tell you he's actually the center of the power forward's body. I mean, what a great matchup. Yeah, how great was he, I should say, in the matchup against the Clippers last season. And throughout his career, he has been more consistent than a clock. I mean, it doesn't matter the year or who he's up against. This guy just finds a way to leave his mark on the game.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Terry Stotts as he addressed his team. He said to them, the lead we've got now is nice, but I want to make it even nicer. This is when we put the hammer down. It doesn't look like he's ready to back off just yet, guys.
And that one's good by Henderson.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Spurs trail by 9. Green, the screen. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Inside, and Duncan gets double teamed. Kicks it out to Leonard. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Plumlee's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And here's McCollum for 3. The shot will not go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand.
Up high and down hard with the one hand.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
Duncan brings the double team. Plumlee with a screen on Leonard. Lillard attacking, and that one's good. Lillard's got 12 points here in the second half.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Green left side. Stolen by Henderson. And even 3-on-3 break. Lillard outside. He feeds it to Aminu. To the paint. Here's Plumlee. San Antonio with the rebound. Outside Leonard. Kicks it to Duncan. Pulls up from the corner. Rebounded by McCollum. McCollum's got his third rebound tonight. Moving it up. Here's Henderson. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Green. Spurs trail by 9. Here's Leonard. Missed inside. And here we go. Fast break. Henderson's got it. Portland again missing. Spurs have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Aldridge with it. Now guarded by Plumlee. Leonard sets a screen for Parker. And Duncan gets it to go on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 6 assists now in the game.
Now how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
McCollum with the ball. Plumlee with the screen. 6 to shoot. They set the pick. Here's Henderson. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. And the Trailblazers lead by 9.
They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Daniel Green. And Portland with a change here, too. Alan Crabb, he's checked in for McCollum. The Spurs have gone through the fourth quarter shooting 50%, 7 of 14. Leonard on the wing. Back to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Leonard attacking it. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
What a night so far for Leonard. 8 rebounds, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
San Antonio, Kawhi Leonard. At the line for 2.
The first one falls. Leonard hits them both.
He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Portland leading by 7. Down low. Here's Crabbe. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
That free throw missing. He hits the second from the line. Spurs trail by 8. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Out to Parker. Lets the 3 fly. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. And that's now 10 points for Tony Parker.
Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game. Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
San Antonio's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Pass to Duncan. Leonard on the wing.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
Kawhi Leonard at the line for 2.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Leonard.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
That one is no good.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
The feed to Henderson. All alone. LaMarcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Spurs trail by 4. Parker outside. Aldridge kicks to Parker. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And for Portland, they're shooting well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. And that one's good by Henderson. Henderson's got 8 here in the quarter.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're leading by 4. We've got 1:28 left here in the fourth quarter. With the screen. Here's Lillard. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Duncan dishes to Ginobili. Leans. Good on that shot, and with that, the Trailblazer lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from LaMarcus Aldridge. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They lead by 2. We've got 1:13 left in the 4th quarter. We've got 1:13 left in the 4th. They grab their own miss. Aminu with the bucket.
How about these big shots for him in the 4th? He has been locked and loaded offensively.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. And he goes in for the dunk.
And guys, this game won't be close to long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all. Lillard has been playing really well. 25 points and 10 assists also.
And with the ball in his hands, he's made terrific passes, but also when he's gotten to the line, he's been consistent as well.
Yeah, I like that combination, guys. I mean, you're going to make your coach happy when you're getting it done in those areas, taking care of the ball, finding your teammates, and then knocking down free throws. Those are winning things.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And that makes it a 2-possession game now. Those could turn out to be vital free throws.
Passes it to Duncan. Kicks it out to Leonard. It's Parker outside. Yes! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Man, Parker can be an offensive force when he gets going like this.
Guys are not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time. Milk the clock a little bit.
Here's Aminu. Nails it.
Clutch shot right there. That could be the difference maker.
Indeed, it might be a big, huge moment in this game right there.
We've got 22 seconds left in the game. Parker passes to Aldridge. Back to Parker to tie it up. Can't knock in the 3. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
Cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And the second of 2 is good. That gives them a 4-point cushion. San Antonio calls timeout. They're losing by 4. 6 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And a quick bucket and a foul is really the only option at this point.
And the important thing about the foul is who you foul. They don't want to send a top-notch free thrower to the line if they can avoid it.
So it's San Antonio now. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot.
And so the big win by Portland in a tight game. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Gerald, we often hear coaches talking about chemistry and focus. What's the key right now mentally for this team and how you guys approach each game?
You know, it's just something, you know, you just got to stick with it. You know, we come in here every day ready to work and compete every night. So, you know, it's good that, you know, we're playing well and we want to keep it going.
Congratulations, Gerald. Thank you so much, guys.
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. And now to our good friend Ernie Johnson, who is standing by in the studio.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Damian Lillard. Double figures in both points and assists for the double-double that led the way tonight. He was their motor offensively and really got the team fired up.
What I like most about Lillard is that you never see him play out of control. He's got a poise that not very many guys have, point guard or otherwise. And there's no question about his scoring ability. Just look at what he did tonight.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is a game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.